reflections?
Well, I'm very sad about the news, but I'm enjoying the fact that I feel like I'm getting heard. There's no fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now this is not complete, because you're hearing her.
Mm-hmm.
It's even that part doesn't feel to me fully complete.
Mm-hmm.
But she hasn't yet heard you.
Mm-hmm.
You delivered the message, but you haven't created connection around the message. So let's let it roll and see when you feel the possibility of telling her your message. Because one of the things that I'm concerned about often is that people get worried that if they hear the other person, there's not going to be room for them to speak. And I want to make sure that whenever there's a conflict and whenever you pay attention to the other person, you come back to yourself later. So let's watch for when Sherry is going to do that. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry for having misnamed you. I know your name is Sherry.
So you really would think it was supportive to us to start the meetings this way?
Yeah, and I just I just like my ideas to be taken into account as well.
Mm-hmm. You want to know that we're really going to take them seriously and consider them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you want to tell me?
Just if there's any chance of you reconsidering or explaining why you don't want it.
So I want to name some of the things that happened because they're so subtle. There was a pause, kind of like a decline. I'm hoping that all of you noticed it, that as Sherry was listening to Nancy, Nancy's energy was slowly coming down. And eventually there was kind of a pause. And then you asked, is there anything else? That's something that I like to do when I'm listening to someone who is in pain. I like to find out if there's more. And then there was more, which was a different topic, but it was a very different message. It was conciliatory. It wasn't antagonistic. It wasn't I'm being mistreated. It's more, let's see, let's talk. And there was another thing that was in it, which is interest in hearing from you. That's often what I look for to know to shift. Okay, so she wants an explanation.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to would you like me to explain?
Mm-hmm. Yes, please.
So we discussed it actually at great length. And we decided that a few people on the board felt uncomfortable starting that way. It just reminded them of something slightly too out there, or I think it was about, I think they just wanted to feel genuine, and it kind of wasn't their scene to use the candles and the chimes. I wonder how that feels to hear that.
Well, I'm a bit confused by why it would not be someone's scene to have candles and chimes, but
you're no longer feeling misunderstood or mistreated, are you?
I'm not.
Yeah. And that is the big hope.
Mm-hmm.
So now I want to check back with Sherry for a moment. Sherry, are you still there?
I am still here.
And I'm curious if there's anything that you want to say after having seen this played out.
Well, what I want to say is I realized I left myself out when I called her, and I didn't tell her how I was feeling before I started, which would have made it a little, maybe would have made it a little easier for her to hear my humanity and my difficulty in delivering the message. Yes.
Thank you. And is there anything that you want to say that you got from doing this? Anything that stands out for you?
Also the question of, is there anything more? Some magical question.
Yeah.
That was very, very helpful. I'm making notes.
Okay. Thank you, Sherry. I think that we are done now, and I'm going to do some closure in the studio and then continue with another scenario. Thank you, Sherry, for calling.
Thank you. Bye.
So anything that you want to say about what happened? There doesn't have to be anything.
No. I just noticed how much I did really feel the just taking it more slowly, and it not just being like no to your idea, but just taking the time, some more space, and showing real interest in what I had to say. That
really helped you.
Yeah, it definitely was noticeable for me in the role.
Mickey. You got another call.
Okay, and there's another call. I just want to know if there's anything that either of you wants to add to the conversation, and maybe nothing, and that's fine. All right, so we have another caller on the line. Caller, are you there? 1, 2, 3, caller.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi. I can hear you now.
Okay. So my name is Juanita, and my husband's name is Tom, and my situation has to do with a conflict we have in the kitchen in the morning when we're trying to get food done and the kids out the door to school.
The perfect moment to have conflict, when nobody has inner resources.
So, I couldn't hear that, but I'll keep going if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay. So my sort of modus operandi is to operate and prepare things, and then at the end clean up. And my husband he wants everything cleaned up, wiped off immediately. So that's the half of it. The other half is the cupboard doors. I tend to mistakenly leave them open sometimes. I am very short. He is much taller. And he'll say, if I get a concussion, it's because of you. I've explained my method of cleaning up, and I think, he might be okay with that in the long run. But the cupboard doors, he'll just say, if it really matters to you, you'll stop doing it. Don't apologize, just fix it.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to play it. I like in particular the concussion line. That really kind of like gets to the crux of it for me.
Yeah.
And then, so we'll play it out for a second, and then I'll check in with you to see if that captures it, and then we'll take it from there.
And what's her name? What,
you are Tom, and you're Juanita.
And I do this. I leave the cupboard doors open.
Yes.
Geez, Juanita, the counters are a mess, and you left the cupboard open again. If I get a concussion, it's your fault.
Tom, listen, I'm trying to get the kids ready for school.
So am I.
And I appreciate that. It's just, this is the way I just don't have time to think. If I just wait till the end, then I'll clean up. And I'm really trying to remember to keep the cupboard doors closed. It's just not my habit.
If it mattered to you, if you cared about it, you would close the cupboards.
Thank you. Juanita, does this sound familiar?
Oh my God, that is so right on. I thought that was me talking for a minute.
Okay, so stay tuned, listen to us, and we'll play it out and see what happens. Do you want your husband to magically transform, or do you want to see yourself transformed?
I would like, obviously, myself to transform and him soften.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Soften.
I would like to see myself transform and he to soften.
Yes. Ages ago I was in a relationship that was very, very difficult, that involved a lot of power struggles. And at the time somebody said something very wise. It took me about 18 years to grasp it. This friend told me, it takes 2 people to play a power struggle. If one person stops, the whole power struggle is over. And I could not at the time hear the difference between quitting the power struggle and giving in. So let's see what happens when the 2 of them try to do this. So Juanita, it's on you.